Is this the worst time to buy a house? Maybe, maybe not. So we've been in a seller's market for the past 3 years, and the last 3 years have been a seller's market straight up. Now we're hitting that curve where prices are coming down. Inventory is even inching up in ways, but interest rates are coming up. Now, they're still well within a 15-year limit here, the interest rates, where, some time ago, even maybe six, 8 months ago, they were in the threes, and now they're near double that. And I think the Fed is speaking today, thanks Fed, to actually, are we going to raise or lower the rates? But it's usually cyclical. Prices are up, rates are down, rates come up, prices come down. Is it really that easy and that cut and dry? No, but that's pretty much how it's been since, the beginning of time. Relatively speaking, if my rate is higher, my payment is higher, so I cannot pay as much for the price of the house. So housing prices are coming down. Now, this last 6-8 months, this last year has been much different than the last couple of years. I am seeing price reductions, rampant, a lot of them. We are seeing more negotiation happening. Now, in some areas and in some pockets, yes, it's still a frenzy, but the rates are still higher, so we are able to negotiate the price a little better, or the prices are having to come down to match. Unfortunately, some buyers are getting priced out, where you could have bought a $400,000 or $500,000 house before. You might be pigeonholed to a $300,000 or $400,000 house now because of the amount of the payment. Your rate going up a whole point on a lower price point may only be $30 or $40, but you could be near $1,000 in that $500,000 range or $600,000 range, depending on how much you're borrowing and depending on what the rate actually is. So it can be kind of deceiving, but it can also be pretty detrimental as well. So this is a great time for investors. It's also a great time if you have to move. We offer accordingly. If the rates come down at another point in time, we can just refinance. Check out some of our other videos on refinancing. So it's always a great time to buy, but it may not be if it doesn't fit your situation. So which one is it, is he saying? Yes, it is, or no, it isn't? Yes, it's a great time to buy. It's the worst time to buy if you want a really great rate and a really high-priced house. So, with all joking aside, it's relative to your situation. We're helping a lot of people buy and sell houses, and a lot of people are happy. Now, as prices start to come down and rates start to come up, investors start to come out of the woodwork. Now, these are my favorite kind of buyers. No offense, first-time home buyers, but the investors have been waiting in the wings for the last 4 or 5 years, and they are ready to pounce. What's nice about investors is more houses get bought and sold during monthly or quarterly. So more buyers, that affects regular buyers or normal people, let's say, first-time home buyers as well, and it affects them in a good way because more investors, more activity, more money in the market, more liquidity, more houses, better for everybody. So some of the negative things that are happening besides what we just touched on is there are big institutions, let's say. So we're not really having problems with foreclosures or short sales, although they're still on the rise. But what if institutions that are buying these houses sight unseen, or they're buying chunks of properties, or they're buying blocks, or they're buying REITs, as an example, real estate investment trusts that are buying multiple properties at once. If their rate of return or their return on investment isn't what they expected, or is now starting to go the other way, they may liquidate entire portfolios, which is going to further create a buyer's market. So, some people say, well, that's great. That's what we want, right? So maybe, maybe not. Liquidating large amounts of properties at once is and will directly affect the price of the rest of the neighborhood. So if they're giving them away, or if it's a fire sale, let's say, or they're trying to get out in a certain equity position, that may cause some other equity problems in the rest of the neighborhood if nice, normal people, as I want to say, that want to try to get top dollar, or maybe folks that are downsizing or retiring or have to sell, may kind of get caught in that wave, but it's all part of the process. So kind of commingled or intermingled with the same thing as a lot of these larger institutions, these bigger groups, are on the stock market. So if their portfolio rate of return or their income or their profits are being lowered, that's going to lower, you'll see a direct correlation in the stock market, and you're kind of seeing the direct correlation now. prices of houses are coming down, the interest rates are going up, and the stock market is tanking. Now, I'm not a stock expert, nor do I claim to be, and it's not necessarily tanking, but if you do look at a history of the real estate prices and the real estate market and the stock market, they do seem to ebb and flow together. But the point being is it's ebbs and flows. Now, that's a fancy way of saying it works in waves. What goes up must come down, and it works, generally speaking, low to the left, high to the right. So meaning it's going up, but it's going up not in a straight line. It's going up in this wave type pattern, which is okay. So it's a normal occurrence is the point I'm trying to make. So it's a great time to buy. If the price works for you, the payment works for you, and you're happy in the house and you love it, yes, of course. If you're an investor and the numbers just don't make sense, then don't make offers, or make offers accordingly. And buyers, regular buyers, should make offers accordingly. Now, this year we have seen some homeowners lose some equity. It's not directly like they bought last year and they lost equity this year. That's not necessarily happening. It's they were up so high a year and a half ago, and now we're kind of leveling out, if you will, balancing out, and they're losing equity there. So the time to refinance is now, although you may not like the rates. The time for an equity line of credit, or a HELOC, or a home equity loan is definitely now, as the prices are as high as they've ever been historically. Now they are coming down a bit. So I can say the powers that be, these financial experts, as part of the Association of Realtors, are still speculating a 25% increase over the next 5 to 6 to 7 years. So that's a steady uprise, but we're going to see a correction, which we're starting to see parts of that now. And when the correction happens, prices will come down, rates will continue up, but houses will still be bought and sold, and there are definitely deals to be had. I hope you found this information helpful. If you didn't, I'd like to hear that. If you did, I'd like to hear that too. And while I'm hearing and listening for that, listen for that bell, click that bell notification, and hit subscribe, and please hit that thumbs up button too. It does help our channel. It helps us to help you. Thanks a lot for coming out. I'm Gregory Martire, your local real estate expert here in the greater Philadelphia area. Have a great day, everybody.